So yeah, I'm down at the beach again today. I come down here nearly every day. It's where I gain clarity and I can gather my thoughts a little and maybe speak about some serious issues that have affected my family and many families for a long time really. I mean, me significantly for the last 4 years specifically. We convicted a man, as I said in the previous videos, in May of grooming and raping children. He will spend 5 years in prison. He lost his appeal, which is good news for us. The bad news is that organised crime that he's connected to still exists in the community and is still affecting children on a massive scale. And I can only speak for my area, but with the community on YouTube and the people that I've connected with in the last week, I understand that this issue is worldwide, which I knew already, but it's now coming to the forefront, and people will not speak about it. I know it's a really hard subject to talk about, and mainly I think that people don't talk about it is because a lot of people have suffered that kind of trauma, and then the others that don't talk about it are not talking about it because they're covering it up. Simple as that. Like, no doubt in my mind now. Today I connected with a charity that can help my son and I maybe get some justice or at least some support on the issues that I'm raising. And he's away playing football, his favourite sport, and he's pretty damn good at it. And I'm taking time out now just to gather my thoughts and just to really evaluate the magnitude of this problem, like exploiting children, using them for monetary gain, initiating them into organised crime, rape, prostitution, drug dealing. It's horrific, and in my city it is definitely alive and well, and people are definitely avoiding this subject on every level. There's a case that's gathering quite a lot of exposure just now in America, a guy called Ryan Upchurch. Big shout out to him because he's amazing. He's raised a lot of questions over the last few weeks of a young girl that went missing. Apparently, there's still a lot of speculation around what has actually happened, but I'm sure with his hard work and his community around him, they will uncover what actually happened. I genuinely believe a child was killed. I genuinely believe there's many adults and many people involved in what happened. But we'll have to wait and see. My daughter's case, I know these kids were initiated into this organised crime through pandemic. I witnessed the way police dealt with these children. I witnessed how they then prosecuted these children and left them to the wolves, basically. The social workers involved at that time. I don't know why they've still got jobs. That's genuine. I really don't know why they've still got jobs. Interestingly enough, the manager that's overseeing my case was one of them social workers at the time, questioning my parenting and trying to question my mental health right now. In 44 years, I've never been hospitalised for mental health. Over the years, medicated wrongly, diagnosed wrongly. I have complex PTSD, which many people have. And I've learned and found many good ways of managing that in a very toxic environment. And I'm writing about it. I'm writing a theory about it and how it affects my community, so I know what I'm talking about. Today was a good day. Like, we actually got heard by council and other people in this community. And I'm hopeful that these people are listening and that they understand the magnitude of what my family has dealt with and the other families involved in this, because regardless of whether they're speaking out or not, they are still affected, and their children are still affected on a daily basis by what these people did 3 years ago. I fear for my son. He's 10 years old, and yes, I suffered with addiction. His father committed suicide when he was very, very young, and he's connected to a family now that has a history of child abuse in their family. To protect him, I decided to go to the police and expose what happened to my partner and to his brothers and cousins. Like, 2 are dead, him and his cousin. Others are addicted or have serious mental health problems because of one family member did to them, and continues to hide, continues to groom her family into believing that she's an upstanding citizen. Yeah, and very scared that her daughter is or was able to assault me to the point where I had to get reconstructive surgery on my wrist. It's healed, but yeah, it's still a bit sore. And police are saying there's no record of me reporting this crime. They say there's no record of me going to the police station. I actually presented myself 3 times, and there's a YouTube video somewhere up here that explains a little on the day that I was there. I was quite upset when I left, you can see that. But yeah, it baffles me that outright lies, outright corruption, and people backing off that have the ability and a platform to expose these kinds of things just won't do anything. It really baffles me. I've not lived a life without sin. I put my hands up to that. But I've made sure for the last 8 years that I've tried to redeem myself in the eyes of whoever. And I've tried to be a good citizen, somebody that's a good example to my child. That's not easy to do in the environment that we live in. We've lived in abject poverty for quite some time, but we're happy. And yeah, we love each other a lot, me and my little boy. My other children have been groomed or manipulated into thinking that the things I'm talking about aren't real by family members of mine that have hidden my abuse for almost 30 odd years. The fact that there's a court case and court documents to prove what I'm saying means absolutely nothing. But yeah, hopefully with my activism and me taking to YouTube and maybe gaining some traction and some exposure with this, my children will understand the implications of what's going on, what I'm trying to achieve, and that I hope that kids are then protected in my community in some way. It isn't without risk. I'm not in danger, because speaking out about this causes a lot of unease